154 athletes from 19 different nations have come to Oberhof, Germany, for the second time this season on the EBERSPA Luge World Cup. It's event number 7, and we're midway through the women's singles competition. Hi again, everyone. I'm Tim Singer. Earlier today, it was run number 1 in women's singles, and it's some of the usual names and some surprise names. Third place, Julia Taubitz. Julia is currently in third place or second place in the World Cup standings. Natalie looking for her first podium this season on the World Cup. Natalie is in second. She held the lead for a while, but 0.15 of a second ahead of everyone is the World Cup leader, Meline Igler. Meline is in search of World Cup win number 4 on the season, number 16 in her career. Earlier today, her sister paired up with Laura Kipp for their 6th World Cup win of the season in women's doubles. But the situation here, women's singles. 20 of the 29 starters have qualified for a second run on this track that a lot of athletes love, and no one loves it more than my broadcast partner here for run number 2 from Team Austria, world champion Jonas Müller. Jonas, the warm temperatures there, how will they affect things here on this track that you love so much?
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Yeah, we have pretty warm temperatures today, but also we have seen already 2 track records today in women doubles and women's singles with Meline and her sister. And yeah, everything looks very good. I mean, the start numbers, they're a little bit further behind. The track is slowing down, but it looks like it's not too much. So I think we have a fair and exciting second run to watch.
Well, track chief Ralph Heidenbluth and the ice meister Andre Becker, as always, they put together a great course. Here's a look at your graphic from up above. It's called a technical track, and it's got this finishing kreisel. And right now, Jonas, let's take a closer look from the point of view of the athlete. I love these drone shots we've had all year as well.
Right here, the start curve for the ladies start into 5. They rebuilt 6 this curve here and 7. Sliding down through 8, 9, and 10. They also rebuilt these 2 corners so that's a little bit less dangerous. Out of 11 into 13 on the long straightaway. Into the kreisel finish curve. Yeah, and I think we're gonna have some good runs and exciting racing to happen here.
It should be exciting, especially as we check out this start list in just a moment. 20, as I mentioned, have made it into run number 2. Realistically, about 6 or 7 have the chance to be on the podium, and you'll get a better sense here when you see the split time, the deficiencies on the right side of your screen when this graphic comes up, because it's pretty tight, especially between 2nd and 7th place. You'll see that on page 2. As you see, we've got a couple of Americans in this race. We have just 1 or 2 Latvians actually qualifying. I correct myself, all 3, but look at the right side of the screen. And Jonas, you mentioned this, between what, 2nd place and 6th or 7th place, it's only about 1,500s, right?
Yeah. So Meline is well ahead with 1,500s. That's due to her very good start time in the first run. And all the girls after Meline until Anna Berreiter, it's only like 1,500 or 1,700. So I think everybody has to put down another great run to be on the podium, but also everybody can reach the podium.
That's exactly right. If it's drama you're after, just keep in mind that one mistake on this Oberhof track could cost anyone up to 4 or 5 positions as we make our way towards the end. In women's singles so far this season, 7 different athletes have been on the podium from 4 different nations. There have been 3 different race winners, and they're all in the race today, Igler, Taubitz, and Bota. But we'll concentrate on those who just made it into the qualifying. Great showing for some of these athletes to get here. Klaudia Domorodska will lead things off from Poland. As the bell rings, singles, Jonas, you get 30 seconds or 20 seconds. Is that right? Once the light turns green?
Yeah. It used to be 30 seconds. Now it's down to 20 seconds. I always put my face shield down a little bit earlier, so I don't have a problem with that. And then you have 20 seconds to start.
Have you ever cut it close where it's all of a sudden the clock is going down 3-2 and you don't have the shield perfect?
No, fortunately, so far I never had issues at the start with my face shield. But last week in Winterberg at the team relay, Meline had some issues with her face shield, and that was a closer one.
Yeah, I definitely could see this from early athletes who are nervous in there. So 2 runs combined time. Damarata, what you see there running on the bottom part of your screen is the added on time from her first time, which was a 42.387. Skidding at the finish line, 0.06 of a second faster than her first tee time. Took her a while to get here.
Yeah. That's good sliding, and great that we saw her in the second run.
For sure. That's the big exit of corner 30. See Claudia tomorrow. Team Poland. Mixed singles. Now, Karina Buzatoy, the lone Romanian in today's race. She's on a little bit of a mini roll here. Last week in Winterberg, Karina had her first ever top 20 on the World Cup, an 18th place result. And she will back that up with another top 20, as she'll look to hold her spot at least in 19th.
Looks good so far, yeah. She was 200s ahead of Dvořáčka in the first run. On the outside. Hold on to the 200s.
She does, hanging on short in the leader box for Claudia, as Romania leads over Poland in the early going here. We'll see Karina tomorrow either with Valentin Cretu or Eddie Krejcian in mixed singles. Gita Bergina, the first of 3 from Latvia, run number 2, her first World Cup race of the season. She holds 0.05 of an advantage over the leader down at the bottom. Jonas, Latvia, one of, like your coaches, Peter Pence does a lot of yelling at the top when all of you. Whoever that coach is for Latvia, he lets out a shriek. He sounds like an animal.
Yeah.
Who is that? Do you know? It's not.
No, I don't know. I have no idea.
They just hire him to do the yelling at the start.
Oh, but if it helps the athletes.
Really fighting it. Yeah.
First race this season.
42.205, or a 1/10 of a second faster than her first mind. Here, she's the third person that puts the track. In run number 1, she had start number 21. First race of the season done for probably not going to take part tomorrow in mixed singles, but that still will be determined. Here is the Ukrainian to qualify for run number 2, Yuliana Tanitska. Tanitska had a place finish at the Beijing Olympics when she was still just a teenager. Now in the third top 20 of the season.
Yeah, we saw some really good lines in the first run from her. She was just at the start a little bit behind and then losing some time down the track. But again, in the second run, really good lines here. Now she rolled back too much out of 11. And Wade went into 12 really late.
She loses time as a result of that problem. They clean it up pretty quickly.
And she's not happy, shaking her head. Yeah, it was just, I think she rolled back too much out of 11, and that was the result, going super late into 12. Super high, lots of pressure.
Three Americans started the race today. 2 qualified here for run number 2, including Summer Britcher, 3-time Olympian, who lists favorite luge athlete all time, Mark Grimmett, who, if you don't recognize the name, Mark Grimmett is not only a 2-time Olympic medalist for the USA, he happens to be the sport director for the American luge program. So Britcher with some hard paddles, pretty smooth settle, and on course right now, trying to knock off the Latvian.
It's super smooth through the tricky part of the track here.
Opening up 1200s now. To the finish, 3/10, some good speed down below, 70.9 miles per hour. Jonas, it looked like she was fighting it a little bit between 13 and 14, but she won that fight.
Yeah, she won that fight. And that little tap on the right side, that doesn't cost too much time, and she is 3/10 faster than in her first run, so.
Yeah, that's key.
That is great. Oh, some really good lines here through 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, that time in run number 1 would have put her right about at the top 10. So Summer Britcher will take part. She'll have a busy day tomorrow. Not only does she qualify for mixed singles, she will be helping with the commentary tomorrow during the men's competition. 2 of the 3 from Team Canada also qualified today for run number 2. And this is Trinity Ellis, a 22-year-old. Riding on the KRS-built sleds. That is former Olympian and longtime sled designer and now Canadian coach Duncan Kennedy building these sleds.
Oh, that's a close one. A little late and then too early to 10.
Yeah, she was really riding on the edge there.
Yeah.
She's lost a lot of speed.
Yeah.
Her speed is exactly the same as the American, but so many mistakes along the way. 124.569 as Trinity Ellis drops 2 places on the standings relative to her first run time. Yeah,
too many mistakes in the chicanes through 9 and 10. Here that is just a little too late and then too high in the end of 9. Too early to 10.
Trinity done, and we get set for the first of the Austrians. The Austrian depth in all of these disciplines, where all 3 doubles teams have won races on the World Cup, all of the men have dominated, and now we have a little bit of depth for the women as Barbara Allmeyer is quietly joining Madeline Igler and Lisa Schulte among the best in the world. What is it about her that she does so well?
Yeah, I mean, her sliding is just super good. I think she feels super comfortable on the sled, and her lines are very nice, and she's doing a very good job here, and also all season long.
In the green ahead of the American right now, the first of 3 from Austria, or 4 from Austria rather, that could all be in the top 10 at the end of the day. 1/10 of a second up now on Britcher. 107. She holds the exact same advantage over Britcher over the last few curves, and it bears repeating, Jonas. So what's going to happen is you've got 3 friends that are going to be 3 enemies next week, because Allmeyer, Schwarz, and Hanna Prock only get 1 spot for the World Championships, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Lisa and Meline, they're already qualified, and then 2 more can go, so they will have a qualification race. I believe it's next week. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. And I mean, it's super hard because these 2 young girls, they're doing such a great job this year. And Hannah finally came back after her back injury, and yeah, she tries to get that one of those 2 spots for the World Championships.
Exactly. Hanna Prock, a 5th place finisher at the last Olympic Games. And I don't mean to say 3 friends will become 3 enemies. They'll become 3 competitors.
That's true, yeah.
Now, Meline Fischl, certainly number 4 on the depth chart all season long for Germany, behind Taubitz and company. But she has been pretty consistent in her first season in the World Cup, including 2 top 10 finishes, 8th here at the last race in Oberhof.
A little too early to 11. Handles it well. Still 2 tenths ahead of Barbara. But now she's losing time.
Not the straightest lines, but staying off the wall until the end.
Super close. Oh, just
another
300.
Right, another 10 feet of track, and she would have lost that lead.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the result of the too early 11 jumping into 11. Now we see that too early to 11, jumping into 11, and it's just losing speed.
Only 1 Italian here in run number 2, as Nina Zugler did not qualify. Here's Verena Hofer, and then the 3rd Italian, Sandra Robacher, pulled out of the race just before. And Sandra told me in between runs that she just needs to continually rest a shoulder that has been bothering her now for years, and she wants to be in prime condition for the World Championships.
Yeah, that's a smart decision.
Jonas, do all of you head home for a day or 2 before leaving for North America and Asia?
Yes, Team Austria is driving home tomorrow, and then we have Monday at home, and then on Tuesday we're flying to Vancouver.
Okay, flying describes Verena Hofer down here at the bottom of the track. As she finds some good speed of 70.6 miles per hour. You always see the kilometer an hour, so I translate for those who care. And it's a 1:24.006 two-run combined time. Hofer into the lead and holding on to her spot, which will be no worse than top 12. It's amazing, Jonas, how consistent athletes are. If you look at Verena's results this year, she has a 12th, a 10th, a 12th, 11th, and 9th. Everything is about the same. I don't know whether that means an athlete is happy with being consistent or frustrated that they can't move up.
Yeah, I mean, when I just came up to the seniors and juniors, my problem was always not being consistent. And I think that's the first step to, and then you, with more and more experience, you will get faster. So I think consistency is super important.
Yeah, well, we know who's on ice by that sound. The Latvians. Kenda Aarod. 11th place after run number 1. She holds an advantage of about only 600ths. That was before the run. As you see, she's fallen behind Italy now.
Good lines here, only 100ths behind now. Back into the green, nice exit of 13.
Kenda is going to hold on to her spot and hope for a top 10 based on what the next few sleds do, just by 800ths of a second. So Kenda Aarod safely at the bottom, and it would appear to be safely into tomorrow's mixed singles, as she's 5 positions ahead of teammate Sagita Berzina. And just as an update, I'm not sure Latvia will take part in the mixed singles. I'm at least looking at a preliminary lineup here, and I'm not seeing Latvia. So I don't know what's going on. I'll try to figure that one out. I'll update everyone. Hey, you know, lost in how close the race is among the top 7 or so is one of the great stories of the day, Jonas. Tova Koala on her way potentially to her best ever result in the World Cup. She sits in the standings in 17th place. Her best finish this year was a 14th. She's in the top 10 right now, already falling behind Latvia.
She was too early to 5, but it's very cool to see her in top 10, and now she's back in the green. And I think the koalas, they like Oberhof. They like this track, and they feel comfortable here. She's showing us nice lines through the chicanes here.
It's very tight, 9,000ths of a second. Kenda was perfect down below, but good lines here as well.
Good lines, a little bit too late into Kreisel.
Should be a top 2, and it is.
That's awesome.
Losing just a little bit to Kenda Aarod. I don't have her career statistics in front of me, but I think it's pretty safe to say Tova has just put down her best finish ever on the Luge World Cup.
That is awesome. And she's happy.
Tomorrow we will see her brother Svante, who yesterday won the Nations Cup race. Svante, we fully expect, will have a great race as well. Good weekend for the siblings, who will team up tomorrow in mixed singles. All right, once again, in case you missed it during run number 1, as far as the American story, Emily Sweeney, the top-ranked USA athlete with 2 podiums this year, including last weekend. Emily decided to skip Oberhof for the 2nd time this season and rest up for the World Championships. She's back at home, but her teammate Ashley Farquarson is very much here. The 25-year-old, 9th place after run number 1. And that was a teammate, maybe Sean Hollander or someone yelling at the top.
Oh, she's well ahead now, 1300s here.
I forget, did she have any little mistakes in run number 1 to push her back into 9th?
I think the lines were quite good in her first run. That was a really clean run, nice.
Her first run time was a 41.93. Now she has a 41.74. Wow. So that is nearly 0.2 of a second back. And it's actually a time, Jonas, that would have put her, I believe, in 5th or 6th place in the first heat.
Yeah, in sixth place. So we see the track is not really slowing down, which is surprising because it is super warm outside, but the track crew did a fantastic job and great race day.
We don't expect Ashley to make a huge move here in run number 2 based on the differentials between all of the next athletes. You could certainly pick up Elena Bota, pick her off coming up next. But if the Latvians have set up the sleds as we just saw them do with Aarod, this could be a nice run for Elena Bota if she keeps it clean. As you see, she only holds 100th up on Farquarson. Sled is so quiet near the top.
Great start time here.
Start time the fastest so far of the run, but still 1/10 of a second off of the start record put down by the Austrian in run number 1. And now she falls behind the USA. Very similar line to Ashley Farquarson.
Yeah.
Skidding across the finish into 2nd place for Elena Bota of Latvia, one-time winner this year on the World Cup. In fact, the only athlete not named Igler or Taubitz to have a victory in women's singles this season.
And now we're in the top 7, and as I said earlier, that's only 1700 to the 2nd place, I think. So now it's getting really exciting, I think.
Yeah, that's great. And it starts with a woman who won a world championship on this track 2 years ago this weekend. As Ashley Farquarson holds on to the top spot, we turn our attention to the focus on the face of Bavarian Anna Bereiter. 2 weeks ago, she finally broke onto the podium this season with a 2nd place finish in Altenburg. I bet no one is more excited about the reopening of the track in Königssee than this woman who grew up right there in the shadows of that historic venue.
Yeah, I'm excited to go back too.
Everyone is. What a beautiful location.
It is, yeah.
Big lead right now over the USA.
Very, very good into 10 and 11.
It's going to take some sort of major mistake down here for her to give up her spot. In fact, she could move up a few runs. This is a great run, Jonas.
She lost a little bit of time, but still 1200s ahead.
41.73 is also about 1/10 of a second faster than her run 1. So they're doing a great job of keeping this track fast.
They are, yeah.
Anna currently in 5th place in the World Cup standings. Though she's only had that one podium, she's been top 10 in all but one race. So the Olympic silver medalist yields the track to a woman who's still learning some lessons around the world, Dorothea Schwarz, out of the junior program. She stormed out this season in Lillehammer with a podium finish in the Nations Cup. Some strong paddles, giving up some time right at the start. And as Jonas has said several times, the splits are so tight that you need to be quick from top to bottom. And how is she doing so far?
Yeah, she lost some time at the start. Now she's 1200 speed back. Her lines are super clean. That's just the speed she lost at the start. It's super hard to pick that up in the track.
Yeah, she's in danger of falling back a couple of positions here. She does. She falls 2 spots behind
First
Germany
place,
and the USA. So Britcher and Farquarson move up 1. 5 sleds still remain here. They are clearly the 5 most consistently successful athletes all season long. So the run could end.
Still another top 8 result for Dorothea. So it's a great result.
Absolutely. She's had, in fact, that's her best result.
Yeah, awesome.
She had a 9th in Lillehammer after that Nations Cup podium. She's had an 11th and a 10th, but now, as you just said, no worse than the top 8. She'll take that back home for her race-off next week. Anna waving to her peeps as she holds on to the top spot, but here's the woman who was the World Cup leader a few weeks ago, Lisa Schulte. Top 4 in every race this year for last season's world champion. She currently sits just outside of the top 4 in 5th place after run number 1, but only 200s out of the top 4, only 400s off of the podium.
She's a little bit slower than Anna here at the start, falling behind, but back in the green now.
The 24-year-old making her way now down to the bottom part of the track, still in the green. And a little bit of a tap.
And then too late into Chrysler can cost some time.
She opened up time. Those are the magic of the Austrian sleds I've spoken about. She had not just 1, but 2 or 3 little mistakes down below, but still gained on her lead over Anna Britcher. This is where she could have probably increased the lead a little more.
Yeah, exactly.
Lisa done, and now the top 4, and competing really in the shadows of Julia Taubitz has been this woman this season, Mirla Frabel. So quietly, she's put out a great season so far. 1 8th place finish, every other result in the top 5, including 2 podiums. Very emotional athlete. You're going to see when she comes up the outrun whether it was a good run or not so good a run, because she doesn't disguise anything with her emotions. This is her home track.
Yeah, good lines. She knows this track very well. And she's losing some time.
A little bit. I mean, Lisa had incredible speed down here despite some problems. Definitely a cleaner line, but 7,000ths of a second, the difference. And she did open it up a little more. So another top 5 for Lisa Schulte. She will likely not move up any more from there, pending some sort of crash. And as I said, you know how Mirla did based on her face at the bottom. It's comedy tragedy.
Norbert Loch here.
Top 5 in all but one race this year. That's amazing. Julia Taubitz can't even make that claim.
Yeah, that's true.
Meline can't either.
No.
Only Schulte and Frabel have been top 5 in every race. Now we get to the podium race, and we've got a fun little story happening with Switzerland's Natalie Mogg in second place after run number 1. Podiums have been few and far between for her, but she is sandwiched between the two best in the sport over the past couple of years, starting with the 4-time overall singles luge World Cup champion, Julia Taubitz.
Hundreds now, 500s ahead.
Her start time was faster than Frabel. It used to be one of her weak parts, was Julia's start. Okay, now she looks to put the pressure on the other two. That was
a little skitty just right before Kreisel. But
she still opened up additional time down at the bottom. But Jonas, that's what we call in English flirting with disaster.
Yeah.
Right? she put it out there and nearly paid the price. Am I wrong, or did it look like she was inches away from some doom?
No, I think she's happy Kreisel was just right there, because if the straight is a little bit longer, she was a little high just out of 13, then everything looked pretty good, but then you can see here the sled starts to skid a little bit, and I think she's happy that Kreisel was just there.
Taubitz on the podium for the 5th time this season, as she'll look to cut into Meline Igler's lead. To do that, she'll need to beat Igler today. But we'll find that out in a moment, because before Meline goes in search of race win number 4, we turn our attention to Natalie Mogg. Natalie has won top 5, 5 top 10s this year. She's a world championship medalist in the former sprint discipline, where Switzerland has always done well over the years. But now holding on to the smallest of leads and momentarily giving it away to Julia Taubitz. First or second will be a huge result for Natalie Mogg here at the bottom.
Nice out of 13.
She's clinging, though, to top 3 right now. This is going to be close. She does hang on.
Awesome.
So Natalie is on the podium. Julia is pleased, not only because she moves up one spot, but Julia and Natalie are very good friends. So they hold the top 2 spots with 1 sled remaining here in Oberhof. That's big.
It is, yeah.
I've said it before, Jonas, she works so hard, and despite the fact that Natalie gets to train and travel with the Germans, she isn't necessarily getting the German funding. She has to figure that out on her own back home in Switzerland.
I think it's a big part she's traveling with the Germans, but as he said, the funding is definitely bigger in Germany than in Switzerland.
She's been on the podium in Altenburg and at home in St. Moritz. This is at least her 3rd, maybe 4th or 5th. We'll see Natalie tomorrow. Although she's a one-person federation, she will be competing with Alex Ferlazzo of Australia tomorrow in mixed singles. Now this race boils down to the World Cup leader and the 3-time race winner. Earlier today, Selena Igler won on the World Cup this season for the 6th time. Now her sister Meline looking for World Cup win number 4.
Yeah, another great start time here. She's almost 3/10 ahead now.
If she finishes second behind Taubitz, then Julia Taubitz will lead the World Cup by a single point. If she wins, obviously she'll extend her points lead with 2 races remaining.
Nice, beautiful.
And look at that split. Could she break the track record again?
I am not sure, maybe.
Losing a little time down there at the bottom. So Julia did put down the faster second run time, but the advantage plenty for Madeline Igler to keep that Igler momentum going. The sisters, unbelievable. That's World Cup number 10 for the Igler sisters. Madeline's 4th victory of the season, and she'll hang on to her top spot in the World Cup with the number 1 seed heading to the World Championships in Whistler.
Yeah, great job. It's a good day for the Igler family.
Definitely. So second place for Germany's 3rd landmark day for Switzerland. I've touched on this a lot. Madeline and Julia are so much fun to watch, Jonas, because you'll remember at the last Olympics, each of them had a crash. Had they not crashed, they probably would have both been on the podium.
Yeah.
And they didn't let that bring them down. That just sort of made their commitment to becoming great even more. And since those Olympic Games, they have been clearly the 2 best in the world.
Yes, they are. And today, Meline with her start times, that's just crazy start times, Meline.
She set the start record in run number 1. Here in run number 2, her start time, not too bad either, just about 100th or 2 off of her record. Igler, Taubitz, you've seen those names plenty of times. Welcome to the podium this season to Natalie Mogg, Lisa Schulte, another top 5, Frebel top 5. They are the best 5 in the world this season, heading to the World Championships. Farquarson, the top American. Austria with Schwarz put them all in the top 15. Aldinger, as you see, they're in 14th place. Summer Britcher will take part tomorrow, and Claudia Domorodska with an appearance in the second run ties for 19th place with Juliana Tanitska. They'll pass out the little snowmen. We'll get some World Cup standings, and then we'll hope to hear from the top finishers. I'm not sure what else. The Natalie Mogg interview, I'm very excited to hear. She's got to be so thrilled. So, Jonas, we've just got a little bit of World Cup standings and replays to go. I'll let you go. But thank you so much, as always, for your commentary.
Thanks for having me.
Look forward to seeing you, of course, and look forward to seeing you in Whistler, and the best of luck tomorrow.
Awesome, thank you.
World Cup race.
Thank you.
For the Worlds. That's Jonas Müller, Team Austria, where his teammate, Madeline Igler, has just captured the top spot on the podium for the 4th time this season. Austria 2 for 2 now on top of the podium this race here in Germany. That's sort of been the trend over the last couple of seasons. We've got men's doubles still coming up. Busy, busy day. I believe Madeline Igler will open up about a 31-point lead here in the World Cup standings. We'll see in just a second. It is 29 points. Igler over Taubitz. Lisa Schulte stays in the top 3. Ashley Farquharson up to 8th. As you see, Emily Sweeney missing this race, drops down 3 spots, but she'll still take a top 10-point title into the World Championship. Austria with 3 in the top 10. And as Jonas mentioned, Aldinger will battle it up with Dorothea Schwarz and Hanna Prock for 2 spots at the Worlds. Rainbow over the skies above Oberhof, where on this day, Natalie Mogg of Switzerland falls back 1 spot in run number 2, but still a memorable day, giving Switzerland a podium Something that does not happen often in World Cup Luge. Great to see a new nation this season on the podium. Julia Taubitz, a 30-time World Cup winner who won last week, gives the podium back to Meline Igler. Together, the two of them have won 6 of the 7 World Cup races. No surprise that they hold the top 2 positions. Let's go down for interviews.
Natalie, congratulations. It's your first time on the podium this season. How do you feel being back?
It's so nice. It was such a hard time. I have a couple of issues with my back, with my foot. Everything went wrong this season, and now, yeah, it's so good and a good feeling.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
No question about it. And looking forward to seeing Natalie with Switzerland tomorrow, mixed singles, teaming up with Australia. We're a little blind to the visuals down at the bottom area, but we'll await interviews from Taubitz and Igler. Down to the finish.
Julia, congratulations. Place 2 here. Not quite what you expected. I thought you wanted to win again like last weekend. What was missing for you?
Meline is so strong here. She's at the start so fast, and the track is too short for me to keep this Startrückstand aufrecht bis ins Ziel. Yeah, she's really good here, but I also had good runs, and I'm really happy about the result.
Seemingly always happy, Julia Taubitz. Meantime, Meline Igler, her 4th win of this World Cup season, including the sweep of the 2 races held here in Oberhof. Down to the winner.
Meline, congratulations. Another incredible run for you. You were so fast and so consistent. How do you feel today?
Well, I feel really amazing. I was like, today it's fast. Maybe the start record is working, and I did it. So, yeah, I'm so happy, and my runs were pretty good. So, yeah, I will take this with me, and I hopefully for the World Championships will also be good.
We only have a few races left this season. Do you already have the overall championship in sight?
Well, I mean, now it's Korea and China, and I know these are not the start tracks, so it will be hard to beat Julia. And also, like, Lisa is close to it, but, well, I will give my best. I will try to push my limits, and we will see what will come out.
That's a great point about the Asian tracks, because memorably, Julia had trouble last time they were in Korea. Meline had trouble the last time they were in China. So this could be a battle to the finish for the World Cup overall. Right now, that lead belongs to Meline Igler. The next stop, the World Championships in Canada. Our next stop will be continuing here in Oberhof with the men's doubles competition. That is just under 15 minutes away. So stick around for the 3rd and final race of day number 1 as the EBERSPA FIL World Cup continues from Oberhof.